Hey gang, Joyce with Skip and Cast Farms here. Didn't take pictures of doing it because there's really not much point. I mean, everybody's seen somebody stick a tomato in the ground. And basically what I did was I came through, added that string. I can hardly see because of the sun, but you've got the wire right there, and you've got the string, and you've got another wire up there. So I'd gotten delayed in getting my tomatoes in the ground. They should have gone in the ground about 2 or 3 weeks ago. We had a cold spell that slowed me down, and then I was working on the sheet metal for a couple of weeks, over 2 weeks. So just getting them in now. It's in May. We're gonna go down to 40 degrees, 40 something degrees tonight, but tomatoes should be okay. So these are Amish paste tomatoes, and I did a tomato, a basil, and then the rest of my tomatoes, and then a Amish paste, and then another basil. And then those were two that my friend Liz gave me that are Alice's something or another. It's a low acid yellow tomato. And then this row back here are all Chadwick cherry tomatoes. Those were put in the ground most recently. These were put in the ground with weed cloth. This is the same weed cloth that I use for my okra. It goes all the way down. And so these had gotten pretty leggy and spindly, and probably should have hydrated them a little bit better before I put them in the ground. So yesterday, what's today? Today's Monday, so this would have been Saturday afternoon. I made some JMS solution and a 5-gallon bucket, and this watering can is that diluted down 20 to 1. I'll put this on hold when I'm done here, and I'll show you what the JMS solution looks like, and it's real simple to make. And but I wanted to also document kind of what they look like when I put them in today, and how they're tied up. I did have wood chips over the top of this, and then about a week or 10 days ago, I put a little bit of aged sheep manure and straw over these, and you can see a little bit better over here. I'm just gonna water the plants in real good again. I did when I planted them. This one over here doesn't look too. This one looks okay. This one looks okay. This one looks kind of sad. So I broke a couple leaves off of it, I think. Moving things around, and it's kind of wilted. We'll see how it does. But that's the last Amish paste. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Amish paste tomatoes here, and then the 2 Alice's, and then 9 cherry tomatoes. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, back again. So I basically put a total of about 2 gallons on this first row. So I've got to go get my watering can filled with water again, and get another batch of the JMS solution. So I won't. I'll show you at the greenhouse what the JMS solution looks like, and tell you a little bit. It's really simple to do, and it's really inexpensive and can't hurt anything. So I'll be right back. Okay, gang, here I am in the greenhouse with the water. Here's the JMS solution. You can see the foam. This was all before I came in and took a sample off of it. It was set like that. You want it set like that because it creates its own convection. You can see there's still some activity and bubbling, and that's when you want to use it, when it's still growing and active. So how do you make JMS? Well, you basically take, there's a recipe from Chris Trump on BioMay, but you essentially take 4 gallons of non-chlorinated water, either rainwater or let city water sit out for at least a day. That'll work if you've got chlorine. If you've got chloridane in your public water, it's a little different. And then this is one of those 5-gallon paint filter bags. I bought a batch online. I'm finding them to be very handy. What's inside of that? What's inside of that is 3 white potatoes, russet potatoes, that I chopped up like I was going to make mashed taters. I did not peel them, but I chopped them up and boiled them. You want the potatoes to be very, very done. The potatoes are your source of energy or sugar or carbohydrate, whatever you want to call it. So I had 3 good-sized baking potatoes. Then you also want to add about an equal amount of quality soil. Some people will include some compost with that. Some people will include some active fungi. Let me see if I've got this here. I don't know if it's still... I'm going to show you what I want to show you as I reach under here. This is a container of old sheep poop that used to sit out on the compost bin. But it's been here in the garden, a greenhouse, for a while, and it's gotten a little dry. So you really don't see a lot of fungal activity. You know you've got something in your soil if you see the white little threads. And this has just gotten too dry. I mean, we've got weed seeds that have germinated, but it's very dry to the touch now. And it wasn't when I put that in there. So I did add a little bit of that, because even if it did dry out, it's going to have cysts and spores in there for the bacteria and the fungi. I got some good black dirt in the back portion of my property where some trees went down about 10 years ago, and the trees are all rotted, and that soil is loose and it's black and it's got the fungal in it. So I added that. The third and final, or fourth and final ingredient, you got the water, you got the taters, you got the soil slash compost slash, you could add a little IMO 1 if you had some, or IMO 2, but that's not necessary. All you really need, because that's a lot of work to make. This is basically the idea of this, is to replace having to make that. And then just go out and get about the same volume. So, you know, 2 big handfuls of black, rotten dirt with white fibers in it is perfect. Now you want to know that there's no contamination where you're gathering stuff as best you can. And then the last ingredient is 15 grams of sea salt. Now I recommend, Chris Trump recommends real salt. But because in order for something to be called sea salt, all it has to do is to be dehydrated from water. So, but real salt is mined in Utah. Celtic salt would be okay. Himalayan salt you could probably get away with. But if real salt's good enough for Chris Trump, real salt's good enough for me. And you need 15 grams. Well, how much is 15 grams? A palmful. And you put that in there. When you're using real sea salt, it's got all the little trace minerals in it. And that's really important. So as you can see, it's still bubbling a little bit. I added a couple of gallons of water, clean water, to my watering can. And then you want to add your JMS to your water at about 20 to 1. So there we go. That's about 20 to 1. Now I'm going to go out and pour this can over the Chadwick tomatoes. I don't think you guys really need to see that, but I need to have both my hands. So I think I did a previous video on JMS. You can go to Chris Trump's BioMay website, and he talks about doing that. He also does a seed soak solution. He's got some pretty good information on that website if you want to go to it. So with that, gang, I'm gonna shut down the video. I'm gonna go ahead and water down my tomatoes real good, and then I'm gonna decide if I'm gonna transplant any more stuff. We've got some sunflowers here. What do we got? We got some cucumbers here. We've got some spaghetti, squash, and what's this? Yeah, that's the spaghetti squash. And then we've got some cantaloupe. And then we got a bunch of different peppers. We got bullnose peppers. We got California Wonders. We've got banana peppers. We've got some more California Wonders. We got some Cubanellas, and we got some jalapenos in the back. And so one thing that my friend Taylor taught me about peppers, because I was having a hard time getting peppers to germinate. Peppers like to germinate in the dark. Now, one of the things that I've spent some money on, I don't mind getting quality tools, as long as they're a good value and they're going to hold up. Now, I had gotten some of these trays from Johnny's because I needed to have a certain minimum amount to get free shipping. Those things are, well, you can see them. They're just flimsy. I turned these trays, these holy trays, into a dome lid, by putting plastic on it and taping it to it. And I did a video showing that, I believe. But the trays that I really like, and I discovered a while back, and I just got some more. These trays are heavy duty. Now they're a little bit more expensive. They're about maybe 1.5 or 2 times what the trays are from Johnny's, but these things are substantial, and that's from Bootstrap Farmer. So I've just taken one of these bottoms from Bootstrap Farmer and put it over the top of one of the inexpensive celled trays that's also supported, that's the word I was looking for, by another bottom from Bootstrap. And that's worked out real well. That's how I was able to do so well with these peppers. We've had a couple of cold snaps. That's one of the reasons why they haven't gotten into the ground yet, but should be getting in the ground soon. These watermelons are really starting to grow like crazy, and they need to get in the ground too. So with that, gang, I will head on out, watering my other tomatoes, and I will wish you well for the day. That's the view out the front of the greenhouse. Not a bad view. If you gotta work, might as well work with a good view. What's that in the sky? X marks the spot. I wonder what they're spraying now. Anyway, it don't matter. Whatever you do, blessings for the day, and just keep chasing the dream.